In 2022, Microsoft started blocking macros originating from the internet in Office. This sent pentesters and threat actors down a path to discover new initial access methods to fill the void. Skip forward to October 2024, and APT29 is using one of those methods that was discovered in 2022. Let's talk about detections. So October 2024, the Ukrainian CERT released a post about a large spearphishing campaign utilizing Rogue RDP. The emails were being sent warning of issues of integrations with Amazon services, basically trying to get them to think there was a problem so that they would run or execute the .rdp file, which would then connect back to an attacker machine, which would then give the attacker a host of all kinds of access to the system. This post by Ukraine doesn't, it provides the methods or different methods of protecting, like blocking RDP files on the mail gateway and whatnot. And it also provides a lot of IOCs, which is helpful down here. After this post came out, then Amazon also made a post recognizing, hey, we noticed that, we read this CERT post and we noticed that there's a lot of domains registered that are supposed to look like Amazon and they're not. So they're working on getting those domains seized and taken down. And then Microsoft posted after that with a bit of a longer write-up, diving deeper into the spearphishing campaign and how it worked and whatnot. At the end, providing some detections. So if we go back to 2022, there's a post by Mike Felch on the Black Hills Information Security website, and it gets into the Rogue RDP initial access method, and it really breaks down how to do it and why it came about, right? Like I said in the intro, Microsoft started auto-disabling VBA macros that originated from the internet, so then attackers were looking for alternate routes to use for phishing and to get into systems. And Rogue RDP was one of these methods. And I thought it was a good call here that given the circumstances, this is an excellent attack vector that, unless remediated by Microsoft, will prove to be fruitful for years to come. Hit the nail on the head with that one. So we created some threat sessions around this activity. The first one being RDP file outbound connection to PyRDP, so basically doing a man in the middle. And this has a breakdown, right? It shows you some of the detections that were hit and whatnot, and we'll dig into these detections over here. The next one was some activity around the Rogue RDP connection with startup file rights, so utilizing that initial access vector. And some of the detections we'll dig into, and we'll see the logs here. The first one, suspicious file created by RDP. So this is looking for any exe files or DLL files created by an image of mstsc.exe. So we're looking for file create events here. And you can see in the threat session, if we look at the log, that the image mstsc and the file was backdoor.exe. So this was the initial backdoor in the startup menu or startup location. The next detection is RDP connection over non-standard port. So you can see this is looking for sysmon network events and specifically looking for anything that's not destination port 3389 from the image of mstsc.exe. And so you can see in this one we had 33389. So this would trigger anytime if there's like a unique port being used, which may be used by attackers. Next, there's some Sigma community rules we can run through. And this one is suspicious mstsc.exe execution with local RDP files. So this is looking for any command line, basically a process creation event where mstsc is the image or original file name in case it was renamed. And the command line contains .rdp the command line is ending in .rdp or .rdp /. And the command line contains any of these folder paths, right? So public, downloads, temp, a bunch of different paths. So this is good in the sense that it's kind of filtering it down to some specific paths. I could see maybe downloads in public being a little iffy for false positives just because, maybe someone has an RDP file in there. But you can see in ours, we had the RDP file in downloads and it triggered on that activity. The last one, another Sigma detection, and this is the same as the one we just looked at, except instead of defining all the fields, this one is specifically saying, just give me any process creation events for MSTSC that end in RDP or RDP / and do not have a parent image of WSL host.exe or WSLG.RDP. So that is a little bit less restrictive, right? Because it's not specifically looking for those paths, but it is filtering out these paths here. So this is hit or miss. Do some hunts. You want to see how noisy that is in your specific environment, but kind of the same thing, just different filtering. And we have a lot of other detections for APT29 in our platform. So sign up for a community account and check it out. Thank you for joining us for another snapshot. I hope you enjoyed it and it was helpful. If you liked, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment if you have any questions or have any suggestions for other videos. And as always, have a great rest of the week.